Hi.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Kimberly.
How are you?
I'm tired. How are you? God, you look so beautiful and awake and refreshed.
If only I feel like my camera and the lighting here is being very generous to me.
Yeah, you look like
Um,
a fucking movie star.
I just I'm tired. I'm very in my body tired. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've been kind of in the just it's been shit.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I feel so bad. Tell me whatever you want about it. You don't have to say shit, but
I can fill in our listeners on the with the Cliff Notes version.
okay.
The week before last, I was supposed to spend the week at a surf, Spanish, and yoga retreat slash camp
That she was
in,
so excited about.
I was very excited about in Costa Rica. And I had pretty limited expectations. Like, I just wanted to work on my Spanish. I also wanted to see if I even liked surfing because I'd never surfed before. Um,
That's so
so
brave to me. Side note, I think surfing sounds terrifying. I'm a
yeah, me
wuss when
too.
it comes to water sports like that. So, that's amazing to me. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was absolutely terrified. So that didn't help my anxiety, but I was like, I just want to try it. If I don't like it, I don't have to go. I can go to day 1 and then do the rest of the stuff and be like, yep, surfing isn't for me. I'm good. And then the plan after that was to then spend 2 weeks with my husband, Josh, in southern Costa Rica. Well, day 2 of surf camp, I got a UTI. So very sick at the clinic trying to communicate with a doctor who doesn't speak much English and I don't speak much Spanish. And he's like, you have a significant infection. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is great. And so that kind of derailed surfing. And then, but I was still going to do Spanish and, I figured yoga would be fine. And then on day 4, in the middle of my Spanish lesson, my body just seized up. And then I spent the next 5 days essentially horizontal because I couldn't walk, couldn't sit up. I couldn't even roll over in bed without excruciating pain. So on day 5, Josh finally took me to the ER urgent care here and they hooked me up to IV muscle relaxers. And so
Hell yeah, brother.
it wasn't great. The doctor was like, he's like, how do you feel? And I was like, I don't feel any different. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't
If
know.
anything, I feel worse, dude. This is not right.
I did end up feeling better. I think it was kind of like I needed to relax. And then once I kind of got home in the evening, I was like, I feel so much better. And I could actually bend over because at one point the doctor had me bend over to touch my toes and I could barely touch my knees.
Oh,
And I have long arms. I have long arms. So
oh,
yeah.
UTIs are just this crazy thing that can be so minor and then so bad. It just, the range is crazy. When you told me at first, I was like, oh, that fucking sucks. But they're just so annoying. You're just so uncomfortable and it's annoying to be away from your house or comfort location. But then the range of when they get bad, it's just yep, now you're incapacitated and everything hurts and you're dying.
Yeah. Well, luckily it didn't. It never had fever, never had chills. There was no suspicion of a kidney infection, but
That is always good.
yeah. And then on top of that, no one was threatening to burn down my
Bird
house. So
I did think about that. I was like, Meredith, this isn't about you. This is not about you.
you're like karma for that time that you threatened to burn down my house when I had a
N
kidney infection.
no, honestly, I went from 0 to 100. I was like, "Oh my god, I hope she's okay," 'cause it I mean, I guess we're the queens of TMI, but not to be not TMI, but
to be
I'm the
TMI.
queen of UTIs. Like I've had a
Mhm.
problem with them my whole life, and I've had a couple of kidney infections that have landed me in the hospital, and that it's fucking scary for somebody to be like something that you could think that could be so minor. They're like, yeah, this is really bad. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
even know what I did. Like, I haven't been doing anything exciting. And they're like, you're not drinking water. I'm like, yeah, I've definitely been doing that.
I know exactly. Like, it was the pool.
Oh
It
no.
was the pool, and I hadn't been drinking water, and I remember having a fucking thought the week before, of like, "Why do I drink so much water at home? Like, what's the point of this?" And I'm like,
Don't ever
"Now I
think
know.
that.
Now I know. Now
Yeah,
I know."
I looked back after the last one. So I've been going to the doctor for it forever and being like, something's wrong with me. This happens way too often. Why is this? I'm not doing anything crazy. I drink more cranberry juice than any human. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And every doctor has asked me if I drink enough water. And my dumbass every time has just thought, like, of course I drink enough water. I've
Well,
never
that's a
said
vague
no.
question.
Yes,
That's a vague
you're right.
question. What is enough?
Exactly, and I've just always been like, "Yeah, of course I drink enough water," and looking back, no, that's absolutely the problem. I don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
So anyways, folks, stay hydrated, uh, don't get in dirty pools, wipe
Yeah.
front to back,
Yeah.
drink
Yeah.
cranberry
It's
juice.
yeah. I just this entire trip has been completely derailed
I
by
feel
this.
so
Like the
bad.
UTI, it was like, okay, this will be fine. I can still participate in 2 out of the 3 things that I came here to do for that week, and then just like not being able to walk and being in pain, and like Josh had to help me get dressed. He had to do everything. Like he had to feed me. I'm incredibly grateful for that. But at one point he was like putting sunscreen on me because we were gonna like try to walk around. He's like, just like we'll do a couple laps around the house. And so he's like putting sunscreen on me, and I just like started crying, and I was like, "Ah, this is so bad." Like, but I am doing better. I am still nowhere near 100%, but I am
Well,
working on it. We went for a walk this morning. We did 2 miles, and that felt
hell
like a
yeah.
feat. And um, yeah,
Well, I'm glad you look great. What's the temperature like there?
today I think is going to be like 86, 85,
Fuck
86.
you.
Yeah.
I walked outside to take Gunner out 2 mornings ago and saw snowflakes
Yeah.
in
No,
downtown.
the other night, Josh and I were kind of feeling a little bit cold. And it was like 74. And we were like, ooh, it's kind of cold. Like, turn the air conditioning off. Like, I don't,
It's
brr.
it's 37 right now and
37 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yes,
Yeah.
I apologize. It is 37 degrees Fahrenheit and um we're supposed to be getting snow, like 10 inches of snow in the mountains.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not here. Man,
Um,
you're weak. You're 2 weeks.
well, and I got a cold.
Okay, I don't think you guys are allowed to go anymore because I think you're spending more time at Costa Rican urgent cares than you are doing anything else.
Yeah.
This happened last
Um,
time too. He had strep and you had something?
he had strep. I got a cold. And then one of the kids got a cold, or maybe both of them.
Jeez.
Um, and then he got a cold this time, and then brought it home and gave it to me. And while I was, essentially handicapped. And at some point you wonder, like, are we just kind of forcing this? Is this like a power through and it'll be worth it? Because I'm still waiting for it to like be worth it.
Oh, I like I want to say, yeah, come home. It's not worth it. But then I'm like, no, that's selfish. Don't be stupid.
It's
It's
cold
worth it.
there.
It is it fucking sucks. But not to be that millennial that talks about the weather, but we need it so bad because the summer's
Mm,
fire season is going to be so bad if we don't get it.
yeah.
Uh so
There's like no
that's the
snowpack
thing.
this year in the
No.
Pacific Northwest, which is not good at
Nothing.
all.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's looking
Um,
sad. If you're a skier in the Pacific Northwest, you're hating life right now.
yeah, you're having a sad winter.
Yeah.
How are you? How have you been?
I am pretty good.
Okay.
Um,
All right, you fucking bragger.
top tier over here. I feel like I've been going through the motions. Work is still busy, and I've been trying to stick with my routines. I've been working out a lot, which makes me proud
Yeah.
of myself. Um, and I took Gunner to the vet yesterday for like a checkup. The
And
they have decided that his behavior is doggy dementia
okay.
or canine cognitive decline. I don't know. She gave me a pamphlet on how to
Of course.
deal with it basically.
Everything
sh
summed up in a pamphlet.
Yep. 2 pamphlets actually. I got one on doggy rheumatoid arthritis and
Oh, okay.
doggy dementia. And so that's what she thinks it is. She's like, yeah, she watched him walk and she was like, it looks like he's in pretty significant pain. She's like, he
Oh,
won't let me move his like joints very far. Also, when I weighed him, he was only 10 pounds and they're like, that's not right. And I was like, this is part of the reason I brought him in. He's looking a little skinny and I haven't changed anything. But they're like, what I thought, like the muscle loss is pretty normal at this age. We're on trazodone now, and
oh,
dude is getting some good naps. He
snoring a
is
lot?
unconscious right now. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to drug my dog, but also like I can't leave the house without having a panic attack. She's like, it's not drugging your dog. You're helping him be comfortable. And I was like, whatever you say, doc, I'll take it. And so, yeah, he is out in a good way. Like he looks comfortable, but I'm waiting on blood work to come back to see if his liver's functioning enough to give him some medication for the arthritis. This is strictly anxiety.
Hmm.
So, I mean, like, he's almost 16. Did I expect a lot of different news? No, but it's still like, I think it was just hard to have the conversation of like, we were giving him shots, and she was like, we can give him the parvo shot, but it's like a 3-part shot over
Parvo.
distemper and parvo, I think is that what am
Like the routine vaccinations.
yeah, because he was due for he was
Got it.
overdue
Okay.
for his vaccinations, but she was like, "I don't have a record of this one, and it's a 3-part shot," and she's like, "Totally up to you, but they're $50 a pop, and you have to drive 40 minutes to get up here, like, he's basically nearing end of life. Do you want to give it to him or not?" And I was just like, "Not really." It
Well, and if he's not around other animals or like at a dog park or something like that, they kind of are like, we don't we don't
yeah.
think it's necessary.
I think it I like w I I think it was just hard to it was hard to actually have the conversation of like, yeah, I am accepting that he is at his nearing the end of his life. And so it's
Like
just
the
like,
days are
well,
numbered.
yeah. And
I feel like those days were some of the hardest of like, because you're kind of just like waiting to like make this decision. And the dogs don't really, are kind of able to tell you, but like like, and it's your decision. And you're just like, can you just like die in your sleep?
I know
Like,
I know, for the love of God. And I feel so bad because she's just telling me all these things like, yeah, he's visibly in pain. And I was like, he's acting totally normal to me. She's like, I don't expect you to know what's going on with him. Like that's normal. She's like, I can tell because I'm doing certain assessments, but like, yeah, that's part of getting old, but dogs hide it well. And I was just like, oh my God, I feel so bad. In the conversation, she's just like, yeah, it sounds like we're just trying to make him comfortable for the inevitable. It's just like, cool. And then I still spent $500 on blood tests and vaccinations. So,
yeah, when I was trying to make the decision, I was like reading all of these blog posts and people were talking about um how people who this is kind of their first time making this decision for a pet, they tend to wait longer because they're kind of not familiar with the signs. They're not, like, and they're not ready. Like, they don't, you kind of don't know. And then they said people who, like, this is their, second or third or, however many animals in they tend to do it a lot sooner, before that deterioration of quality of life. And I was like, oh, okay, well, now I feel really bad. But that kind of helped push me over the edge. Well, I don't have an outline. And I know that this is supposed to be my episode. And I'm pulling a Meredith and free
Yes.
balling
I love free balling.
because I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to talk about how the last 2 weeks, I had this expectation um, of how the last 2 weeks were going to go. And they weren't like crazy expectations. I didn't have this expectation that like I was going to be fluent in Spanish and I was going to be a world-class surfer. But I did have this expectation that I would actually be able to fucking move, right? And I am very proud of myself in the way that I've chosen to react to this. I've found multiple ways to be like, okay, well, I'm grateful for this because I experienced healthcare for the first time in Costa Rica. Like, I'd never been to the doctor. I think I've been to the pharmacy one time. So kind of understanding how their healthcare system works. Also remembering that like I have a great partner who's willing to step up and do all of the things that need to be done to take care of me, because I still had a day left in camp and I left early, and I called him and I said, you need to pick me up now. I'm done. And he's like, okay, I'll be there. I can be there in 2 hours. So we went and we stayed in a hotel because our Airbnb wasn't ready for us. And so he's like, yeah, we're simultaneously paying for your camp, my hotel in San Jose, Costa Rica, and this place that we're staying tonight. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
that's great. I feel I feel really great. But I don't know. I just think learning to choose how you react to these things is huge. And I do think that a part of that is like if this had been like a once in a lifetime trip to like Antarctica, because that's a place that's like on my list, I think I would have a lot harder time. Just
it's like, oh, I spent money on this and now it feels wasted, or I can't have that time back, or it's really easy to be really disappointed, and handling disappointment can be hard. And it's a good reframe of, I'm grateful that I'm here and I'm grateful that I had this opportunity, but sometimes shit happens and you can't control it. And, you know, I'm grateful your health wasn't worse.
yeah, me too. Like all in all, it's just been, you know, some pain and well, a lot of pain, but like
Sorry, that's not funny. The way you said it was funny. Ha 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 ha, she's in pain. Ha ha.
you're such a bad friend.
No.
But yeah, I don't just kind of trying to like let it roll off my back and not beating myself up and just kind of being like, yeah, this is a thing that happens. And Josh was like, you can always go back. He's like, you can go back. We can get you other surf lessons. We can find other ways for you to learn Spanish. Like, this isn't the end of the world. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I wanted to have this like really, really cool experience. And instead I was like, it hurts when I pee.
Which is incredibly uncomfortable if you've
Yeah.
never had a UTI. Sorry, like, the it might sound like something minor. It's so fucking uncomfortable. It's
Yeah.
just constantly feeling like you have to pee and feeling like you're in pain. It's just like,
Yeah. And I
fucking
had
sucks.
gone and I was in town. I had ordered some food and I was like, actually, can I get that to go? Because I just went to the bathroom and now I have to pee again. And I was like, I definitely think something is wrong. And then I got back to the room and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm peeing blood. So,
Damn. I've
yeah.
never I've never peed blood, but
Oh,
I know. Well, my kidney infections, the reason they've gotten that bad is like, I think I've just gotten so used to having UTI symptoms over the years, is that like, even if they're minor, I will ignore them. Not ignore them, but I will just treat them as minor because I'm used to it, and I'll just like drink more water, or I have vitamins on hand that are like specifically for that I'll take to try to prevent it from going anywhere. But then it's like all of a sudden I have a fever and it's like, how the hell did that happen? And I tell the doctor every time, like, I didn't have the full blown symptoms. And they're just like, oh, like, oh, okay, cool.
It
Got it.
just likes to travel. The
Yeah.
bacteria is like got their
The
suitcases packed and they're like, we're headed for the kidneys.
I was gonna say the kidneys must be the luxury resort of my body.
They like to hang
uh,
out there.
well, I would definitely think something else would be the luxury resort, if you know what I'm saying.
No, actually, I don't, but
Moving on.
okay.
Let me
Anyway,
have that moment.
yeah.
Because you brought up disappointment, I'm curious because after getting diagnosed with ADHD and learning like what things and feelings and reactions are associated with it, and like
Mhm.
looking back on childhood and being able to be like, oh, that explains this thing. I felt like disappointment in a change of plans. It felt like the end of the world to me and even as a kid, I remember like having plans with friends or
And they
whatever.
cancel on you and you take it personally and you're like, "How could you?" It's like
It's like
that
my word.
Vine where the guy is
How
like on the phone and he's like, "No head." And he smashes his phone and he smashes his skateboard. Yeah, that's how I feel. Even if they're like, "Ooh, I need an extra hour," and you're like, "How the fuck could you do this?" And it's like, "Whoa, this is not like,
or
isn't that
but
big of
like
a deal?"
I know, but it's like the physical feeling of disappointment is so real. Like, not just like a change of plans, but like if it got canceled, I vividly remember multiple occasions of like, it's not something we could control. The weather was shitty and we couldn't go somewhere. And it was just like, I felt like my world was upside down and I wanted to cry. And I always thought, like, why, why do I like, why is this so important to me? But then like, it continued into adulthood. Like if I was really excited about plans and they got canceled, or like an event that I couldn't go to, was just like physically painful to cancel. And then I'm just like, oh, there's an explanation for this. And I'm not crazy. I mean, I am, but maybe in other ways. It, yeah. So I think it is a big deal to be able to look at it and reframe it because 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, this is the end of the world.
Me
So
too, and I would
realizing
have
where it's
just
coming from and
beat myself up of like, "Well, you should have done better. Like, you should have gone to the doctor on Friday because you kind of felt a little off and you were, had said something and you were like, oh, I don't know, I feel kind of weird." And
are you shooting yourself?
yeah, I literally like all of the topics that we've talked about, like shooting yourself, expectations, um,
ADHD culmination.
ADHD, like everything kind of like came together. And I was like, well, I can't like talk about these things again because we've already like talked about them. But I think I was using those skills that I've learned and those skills that we talked about and we shared on a really awesome podcast. Um, and
That's
I'm proud of
huge.
myself for that though.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you too. Um, I I'm sorry, I don't know why this popped into my head. Um, could be framed around disappointment. No, no. Anyways, um, we have a couple, or I have a couple of text messages, the text from friends that I wanted to read that came
Okay.
in through the last, I don't know, however long. Um, cuz on the death cleaning episode, I talked about my mom a lot and she was like texting me and telling me how proud she was and how she liked all
Oh.
the episodes and she was all
Oh.
caught up, and I was like, "Oh, that's really sweet." And she hadn't, like, we had like just released the death cleaning episode and I was like, Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. I talked about family stuff and you in that episode, and I don't know if you're going to like it or not. And she immediately texted me back and she's like, I'm halfway through and I think it's great.
Oh,
She's like,
oh,
I'm so proud of you. We've come a long way with the cleaning stuff and the hoarding of sentimental items. And, I think I've gotten better and I appreciate you for helping me with all of that. And I was just like, I felt so guilty for thinking she was going to have a bad reaction, but it was really cute. She sent the text with friends, uh, and I got the little I got the little fan mail email, but she texted me ahead of time. She's like, "Did you get my fan mail?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Um, she's like, "Don't worry, it's meant to be a joke." And I was like, "Okay." But we in the death cleaning episode, I was talking about our storage unit in Texas and how we have a storage unit full of shit. And this is what the fan mail says. Hello, period. I want to ask Meredith if she would go to
period.
Granite Shoals, Texas to help me get rid of stuff from my storage shed. I will pay for your airline ticket. Heart. and then,
So
and
are
so,
you going? Did you book your trip?
fuck no.
Oh, you're not. You're
But
you're
neither is
not gonna
she.
do it.
She's not
Oh.
in Texas either.
Oh.
It was just funny. She's like, I pranked you. She's like, it's meant to be a joke. I was like, thanks, Mom. I was like, but also, if I plan to go clean out the storage shed tomorrow, would you be disappointed? No.
It's
So,
funny.
anyways, I thought that was really cute. Mom's being supportive.
And trying to play pranks. I think that's cute.
Yes. The other text from friends that we got was also about the uh death cleaning episode.
Mm.
And it's somebody that I know as well.
Mhm. Okay.
But I wanted to say she knows who she is, and I wanted to say thank you.
I hope she knows who she is.
Well, she's gonna I hate you. The end of it says, really enjoying the podcast. Y'all are doing amazing. But she's listened from
Stop.
the very beginning and she sent multiple texts with friends. And she also texts me on occasion to ask questions or say things that she's related to. And there was a lot that she related to in the episode. And it made me feel really good because going into that, I, like, I always want our tone to be uplifting, like today. Like, you turn a bad situation into a positive mindset. And that's really what I want this to be, is us seeing the good in the normal, everyday, sometimes shitty things that come with life and
Mhm.
trying to be glass half full. And so I was really worried about that topic being a big downer. But I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from that topic. And even on our Instagram page, we've gotten messages from people saying that they really liked it. And I think that that's really nice. Thanks.
Well done,
Thanks
Meredith.
to everyone for the support. And thanks for all the texts with friends. And I'm happy that that turned out well. And I feel like there was something else I was going to say about that, but it gone.
Poof. I did get a message, a very long message from my brother about the platonic marriage
Oh,
episode.
yes. That was
And
a good one too.
he had a lot to say about that, and he did not think it was a good idea. And
Oh.
so we kind of went back and forth, and then he just said, "I am not marrying my best friend." And I was like, "Okay."
Well, since I've met his best friend, now I can picture what this conversation looked like.
You're like, "Yeah, no, I understand.
No, I get it.
understand why he said that. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I meant to send it to you, but I was in the throes of my pity party.
No, I think you're allowed to have your pity party. That's the other thing I was going to say. I've now had two friends that I've talked to recently. I never would have thought of this, but I thought it was really sweet. They were like, I enjoy listening to the podcast because it feels like a way for me to catch up with you without having to
Mhm.
talk to you. And I was like,
Because
that's
God
really
forbid, I
sweet.
don't
Yeah,
want
I
to talk
know.
to you.
God forbid I talk to you. No,
Oh.
I'm the culprit. Like, I'm the problem. I'm aware. I'm so bad at scheduling a time to talk on the phone. You have to just catch me out of nowhere. Just
Yeah,
call
I think
me.
you just have to call. I
Just
think
call me.
I think the idea that you have to schedule a time to call your friends, just call. If I can't
Yes.
answer, I won't answer, and maybe I'll forget to call you back. Like, there are multiple times where I've called friends and they don't answer, and then they never call me back, and then I kind of forget about it, but it's like, we don't
But
like, it's okay.
I've been doing so much better about it recently of like if I'm actually not doing anything, I'm not letting the anxiety take over, and if somebody fucking calls me, I answer. And I talked to you on FaceTime, which was really nice because I felt like we hadn't seen each other in forever. I still do. I'm the queen of like, I'm not in the mind space. Like, I can't do it today. I just can't have a conversation. Can we do it later? But my friend from Chicago called me this weekend and I wasn't doing anything. I was like, yeah, let's talk. And it was really nice to catch up. So yeah, to all my friends out there who are as bad as me at talking on the phone, just call me. The chances are higher that we'll actually have a conversation than if we schedule a phone call
Yeah, I could schedule that for like,
two
October.
months from now.
And it's currently February. Wow.
uh, yeah. Anyways, I thought that was
Well,
sweet. And yeah,
I honestly don't have anything else to talk about because I've literally done nothing the last
there's nothing wrong
few.
with that.
Yeah.
I
Well, I thought that I was going to be like, yeah, I'm into surfing now, and I thought I was going to I was kind of going to come speak to you in Spanish.
What'd you learn?
¿Dónde estás mis pantalones?
You're missing your
Actually,
pants?
Actually, I already knew that because I had a T-shirt that said that in high school, and like that's still the extent of my Spanish. But we met a local
It's
Costa
hilarious.
Rican who doesn't speak much English this morning on our walk, and so we told him that we don't speak a lot of Spanish, and he said, "Well, I don't speak a lot of English," so we like practiced with each other,
I love
and
that.
it was actually really cute. And I'm not exactly sure what we talked about. Um,
It's okay.
Well, I listened and I did catch a few things. Oh yeah, there was another thing I was gonna talk to you about. I think we should do well, when I first got here, I thought like maybe we should run like a mildly thriving retreat where we bring like a group of women, and we do things that are out of our comfort zone and like, but like also just kind of chill. Um, and now I'm rethinking that because I've had yet another like terrible trip to Costa Rica. Um, but once I'm feeling better, I'll probably be like, we should do that.
Well, pardon the pun, but let's just like flush out the bad stuff before we get to thinking I it wasn't on purpose. It's just the first phrase that came to mind. uh
Well
let's
played.
let's work through all of the let's work out the kinks before before we bring people.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
about that.
but there's
But
also there's also a chance that even if everything seems perfect, something bad happens. So
yeah,
whatever.
and I mean, I think that can happen on any trip. I don't know. I thought like there's so much like hippy dippy shit here. Like y- y-
I
we
love
met
hippy dippy
someone
shit.
we met someone who's like training to be a shaman, and doing
Love
like
it.
peyote and ayahuasca and all of this stuff. And I was like, I don't like, nah, yeah, okay. And then there's like sound baths and um,
Did you you're you're not the one that recommended doing a sound bath, or you are?
no, I do. A
Okay.
few years ago, I was in Zion and we went to this morning yoga class, and it was April in the desert, so it's fucking freezing. It was like 33 degrees in the morning, and we were doing this sunrise yoga and just going this I'm freezing. But at the end she like brought out one of those bowls. And
Mhm.
so we laid down and she was doing the sound bath and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool." And then the friend that I was with when we were done, she was like, "That was awesome." So, I want to do it again.
Well, I'm gonna have to try. I've actually been really good about going to my workout classes, and I have one today, and Your girl is obsessed with hot yoga now. I thought I was going to be uncomfortable. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
I don't
especially because you're like warm and it makes it easier in some ways, it makes it easier to move if you're not nauseous.
Yes, I haven't really gotten nauseous, but the last one I did, I had to take a break because my goal is to just like, I'm going to do the minimum poses. Like, I may not do whatever escalated version they're telling me to do, but I'm going to do the minimum. But we were going through these flows pretty fast, and there was a lot of like warrior poses. So my legs were wide, and I was basically holding a lunge position for an hour in 105-degree heat. And at probably the 40-minute mark, I was like, your girl's got to stand up for a minute because my
Mm,
legs are falling off. And
mhm.
the next day, my abs and legs were so sore. Anybody who tells you yoga is a bullshit workout has never been to yoga.
Yeah. It can be a legit workout.
Yes.
And then there are times where it's like, I just stretched and it felt nice. But like that's good for you too.
Yeah.
Or if you just worked on your breathing, that's
Yep.
good for you too.
Yeah. Because guess who's bad at both of those things on their own? Wow. Ooh, my stomach's making noises.
Are you hungry?
Not those kind of noises.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, should we wrap this up and let you go have a little break so that you don't
It's
shit
kicking
your
in.
pants um
Yes.
live on our podcast? Actually, that would actually be pretty funny, but
It would be appropriate, but nah, I don't want to shit my pants today. Not in the comfort of my own home.
yeah, that's when you know
Actually, of
that
all
would be bad.
places to shit your pants, that's probably the best option.
Yeah, but it's also like the most like why did I let that happen? Like
It's it's so funny because I'm thinking of a specific story of a specific friend, and when that person listens to this episode, they will know that I'm thinking about them, and I hope they laugh.
cool. Well, on that note, is this a
That
reminder that mildly thriving
is
is
thriving
is thriving?
enough.
You know?
Guys and gals and everyone in between, mildly thriving is thriving enough.
It is. All right. I will see you on the next episode. Enjoy your poop.